how do you work with the dolphins? Like when they are, if you have children, when children come and they're like special children,
Yeah.
like autistic or something like that, how do you work with the animals and them?
It's very much the same. We have some dolphins that are more used to seeing that. They've worked with all different types of people and children and special needs, and they're very patient, very comfortable. So we're going to set those children up with certain dolphins that we know are very calm and relaxed, and we can do the interactions, everything the same that a normal kid can do. We just use a dolphin that's patient in case that child maybe doesn't understand and is kicking or hits the dolphin. We just pick a dolphin that has a good temperament for it. So a lot of our dolphins have seen that many times, and they're perfectly fine with it. They still get to do kisses and rides and photos, everything. We just maybe wouldn't bring out a young dolphin who's never seen it before. We pick one that's very comfortable with that situation. And everything they do, they get reinforced for. So if there was a child that was clawing onto them or maybe not being very gentle, as long as that dolphin will still participate, they're going to get a ton of food for that, a ton of toys, something they like. So the more positive we make it for the animal, and then the child can get the same positive experience out of it too.
And what is the reaction of the kid after the
Most of the time they love it. Most kids absolutely love it. Even if they don't speak, you can still see they're smiling, they're excited. Some of them scream and jump up and down. So most of the time they're very excited. Their eyes are nice and wide and open, and they're having a really good time. Sometimes they get scared or they might choke on some of the salt water, and they weren't expecting it. But most of the time they love it. They always have big smiles for their pictures.
And what, in your opinion, what is the part of the brain that activates when they work with the dolphins? Like, what of the parts that, like the motor parts of the kids are more like intense with the
When
dolphins?
they can move all the legs.
I mean, it
arms.
depends. I haven't, it's not like we bring in a child who can't walk and then suddenly he can walk. We have magical powers. But they do focus more. For a child who's been not being able to pay attention all day, their brain is functioning better. Maybe not their arms and their legs, because they're all excited. They usually lose control. They're all excited, they're splashing, they're kicking, but their eyes are wide, they're looking at you, they're looking at the dolphin, they're being vocal. So usually if they're talking or they're screaming or something like that, so they're a little more focused. They realize that the sensation of touching uses a sense they don't always use. They can hear the dolphins make sound. That may be something they're not used to. So they're more focused, they are very excited, but they still maybe don't know how to express it. So sometimes they do slap the water a lot. They may, scream or kick or something like that. But they are very excited. They're looking at the dolphin, and you can see their expressions change.
And what is the reaction of the dolphin when they, like, if I know you have some dolphins that are specific to those kids, but what are those dolphins, the ones that are specific, like, feel, or you think they might feel, or what they think of it?
Yeah, there's no way 100% knowing what they think. However, we have noticed that a lot of our dolphins that are used to doing those kinds of interactions will maybe go a little bit slower, maybe be a little bit gentler, sit very close to the trainer and to that special needs guest. Maybe they know that what we need, they need them to be patient and calm and close, and so we do notice a lot of times they are a little more patient. Their ride, they may be a little bit slower, make sure that grip is still on, that kid is holding on before they take off, and they're going to go slow. Doesn't always happen, but we also reinforce it. So I can't necessarily say that they're making the mental choice to be helpful, but they know that if they are calm and patient, and if they do go slower and react calmly, they're going to get a ton of reinforcement.
But you teach that.
We teach
the
them.
special behavior to that kind of children.
In some sense, we can't teach it. I mean, it's not like we can bring in a test subject. So when we do have a dolphin that we want to learn to be good for special needs, we're going to select them maybe just to try something small, baby steps. So if we have one special needs guest, we may have a dolphin come up and just let them touch. Okay, get comfortable with that. Eventually, maybe we'll try them to get a kiss. Maybe after a few days of doing that, if we have another special needs guest, we'll try a hug. So we do baby steps. It's just like training any other behavior. And it's not just special needs. You can be normal and you can come in with bright blue shoes on. And maybe they've never seen that color before. So they may take a few minutes to stare at your feet, or maybe they'll stay away from you because they're not really sure. So we have to get them comfortable with everything. A bathing suit with a skirt on could be something scary to them if they've never seen it. So not just with special needs, but everything we do, we use you guys as guests to help us. Because we're going to use you to help us reinforce that dolphin, give them fish when there's things they're getting used to. And the ones that are good with our special needs are a lot of our older dolphins because they've had so much time to see so much of it and get used to it. Also, because they are a little bit older, they tend to be a little bit more calmer and relaxed. They're not as amped up, swimming as fast, as easily distracted. So a lot of times our older animals are good at that, but it's because they've had that history of seeing so many different things.
Do you recommend that therapy for the children?
That kind of therapy with the animals, like especially with the dolphins, to the kids.
Yeah,
They have a
absolutely.
problem behavior or problems
Special
mental
needs.
Exactly,
Yeah.
special needs.
We think it's great to have that opportunity. It's something they may not ever get to do. And of course, we always talk to the parents beforehand, make sure they're comfortable safety-wise. If they are splashing and kicking, we want to make sure the parent can be right there holding them or will help hold them. We want to make sure that they aren't going to be too cold in the water, something like that. But we will feel completely great setting a dolphin in front of them and even helping them reach out to touch. Even if they end up not liking it, if they get scared or uncomfortable and they don't like it, it's worth trying because most of them love it. And it opens their world to things, even if they don't mentally understand what they're doing, it's opening all their senses, their touch, their sight, their hearing, everything is still being excited, even if they don't mentally know that that's a dolphin and what they're grasping onto. It's still fun for us, it's fun for them most of the time, and as long as our animals are safe and healthy, they're okay with it.
And like I've heard and I've read that the dolphins and the horses, I think, have like a special sound. I don't know, a special ability that can communicate with those type of children. Like they feel comfortable around them. Like yeah, they feel uncomfortable because they are not their species, but they're like they understand them, like something like that.
It's hard to tell. I mean, there's no way we can scientifically prove that, so I can't tell you that we know that for sure or not. But like I said, we know that some of our dolphins treat people differently, and they know when people need certain things. So like I said, they may go slower, and it's not a hand signal we can give them. We can't ask them to go slower. It's not something we've trained them to do, but they just sense it. I don't know that it makes them feel more comfortable or it makes them feel any better, but they can tell when a person doesn't move right, or maybe if a person isn't reacting in a normal way. Dolphins have echolocation, so they don't see people like you and I see people. They don't look at your face and say, you have this hair color and you have a smaller nose and you have a bigger nose. They don't look at that. They can see that, but they also see what's inside of us. So they can see your bones. All right, if you're pregnant, they can see that. If you ate a big lunch, they can see that. If you have metal pins or plates or anything, they can tell. They can tell people's different body densities, and that's probably how they identify people, especially trainers, when we all look very much alike. If I broke my ankle when I was a kid and it healed differently than that ankle looks or this ankle looks, they know that. So when a special needs comes in, they can see if nerves are different, if bones are different, if organs, anything like that is different. They can tell when things are not like the next one. Whether that makes them more comfortable, I don't know, but they may know that throughout the years, if they've seen that many times, that they need to maybe be a little more patient. Or the last time I saw someone like this, they may have really grabbed on to me. So I got to be prepared for that. They know how to react to the things they've seen, and they see everyone in that sense. So even someone that to us looks completely normal is going to look very different to them, depending on what they're seeing. They may, we've had times when certain dolphins would avoid one of our guests, maybe just not want to get close enough for a kiss or a touch. And we're like, I don't see anything, their bathing suit looks fine. They don't have any weird colors or scratchy jewelry or anything. They look fine. But then they'll tell us they have a knee replacement. It's all metal. And that dolphin's never seen that before. So they're a little nervous. So there's things we don't know that they pick up on. And something silly like, I've seen dolphins be scared of a skirt on a bathing suit. You and I know not to be scared, but we can't tell them that. Until we get them comfortable enough seeing it, we give them reinforcement. We let them know it's okay. Here's something fish. You're okay up here. You're still getting fed. Nothing bad is going to happen. Then they're going to get comfortable with it. It just takes time.
And the last question, what do you think about dolphins? Like their behavior, like they in the way of animals. What do you think?
Just in comparison with other animals, I think these guys are much smarter than my dog. I think they're very smart. I think that makes them easy to train in some aspects. I mean, we do 30-minute interactions every day, and we don't speak the same language. We've trained them to learn hand signals. It's almost like we taught them sign language, and we communicate with them that way. It's almost like raising a 5 or 6-year-old child. You've taught them how to speak and how to interact and what their manners should be. Same thing with these guys. So I think that's very impressive. However, even though I do think they're smarter than my dog, they are so smart that they have the capability to trick us. They have the capability to do exactly what they want. They're very social. So even though she's very smart, she's been trained very well. If my dolphin that I'm working with that day sees a good-looking boy that she'd rather be with, that means more to her than coming over and interacting with us. It's not because she doesn't know that she's going to get food here or that she doesn't want food, but they make choices. They're very intelligent. So they have their own social dynamics going around. We do the best we can. We work around it. And that's the benefit of us being here and seeing them so close every day, is we really do start to pick up on patterns, and we start to read their behavior pretty well. So in the case of animals, I think they're extremely intelligent. A lot of animals this size you can't get close to. They don't have lion interaction parks. They don't have an elephant interaction like this. A lot of animals that have the power to be dangerous can be, whereas we feel comfortable enough to teach them a language and bring you guys in every day. So it's nice that we are able to teach them that.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.